G20 के लोकाचार पर आधारित दुनिया में शांति की संस्कृति को बढ़ावा देने के लिए विज्ञान, धर्म और तत्वज्ञान की अनूठी तथा ऐतिहासिक 9वीं वैश्विक संसद वाराणसी के श्री काशी विश्वनाथ धाम कॉरिडोर में आयोजित की गई थी। सर्वश्रेष्ठ वैज्ञानिक और आध्यात्मिक ज्ञान तथा तत्वज्ञान को एक साथ लाते हुए शांति तथा सद्भावना की संस्कृति को बढ़ावा देने और एक शांति प्रिय समग्र वैश्विक समाज का विकास करने के तरीकों पर इन 3 दिवसीय संसद में चर्चा हुई। काशी में आने वाले तीर्थयात्रियों तथा भक्तों की आसान आवाजाही के लिए प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी द्वारा बनाए गए काशी विश्वनाथ कॉरिडोर को विश्वधर्मी प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर विश्वनाथ कराड़ जी ने काशी विश्वनाथ ज्ञान कॉरिडोर का रूप दे दिया और यहीं पर संपन्न हुई विज्ञान, धर्म और तत्वज्ञान को समर्पित 9वीं वैश्विक संसद। इस अवसर पर चाणक्य मंडल पुणे के अध्यक्ष श्री अविनाश धर्माधिकारी जी ने उपस्थित श्रोताओं को संबोधित किया।
Honorable founder Dr. Vishwanath Karad sir, we fondly call him as Karad Guruji, and I have always maintained that let sooner rather than later, when the alphabets MIT come up, the world think of this MIT and not only the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, but MIT founded, created by Dr. Karad sir. With great honor, in fact, I repeat my words that MIT has already done India proud. And from undertakings like the temples at Badrinath to the world's largest dome, and now that all of us are here, this is the great legacy of Bharatvarsha, the great legacy of saint poets who of course taught us all yoga and how to understand that oneness. MIT as organization and Karad Guruji as person represent that sense of oneness. So respected dais and all my sisters and brothers sitting here, I want to start by mentioning my sense of deep gratitude. That sense of deep gratitude that doesn't have enough words. The Marathi, Hindi or Sanskrit word is Krutagyata, and that intensity in the word Krutagnata does not really get translated into English. So I will stick to this word. The sense of Krutagnata towards the Parliament of Religions, towards MIT, towards Karad Guruji for indeed giving me this opportunity to be here, opportunity to talk to you. Since the moment we stepped into this campus, every single second has become enlightening second. I have been to Kashi Vishwanath many a times, and I would not have used the words I am now about to use. I would not have used the words if the scene was not so fundamentally changed. But fact of the matter is, as a Bharatiya human being, it used to pain my heart to see uncleanliness around Tirtha Kshetra. This is that same sense of pain that I am sure even Vivekananda must have felt when he was traveling all over India before he proceeded to the first ever Parliament of Religions to explain the meaning of Dharma to the whole world. It used to pain me. And now that since this morning we see the whole scene, that it is completely transformed. You begin to actually feel the presence of divinity. And of course, as a Bharatiya, you feel like proudly raising your head, and I'm sure it is transforming the consciousness of Bharatvarsha. That is yet another of my reason for feeling grateful towards Karar sir for giving me this opportunity to be here. This is the session designed for discussing relationship between Adhyatma and science. And we have to follow the discipline, punctuality, and the time allotted to every speaker has to be followed. So I appreciate that board over there that is displaying, telling the speakers, you are left with how many minutes. As of this moment, it is showing me 6 minutes. I am happy to say that I do not even need 6 minutes. For 2 or 3 very simple reasons. One is what Dr. Karan Singh ji spoke has already set us on that path of knowing oneness between Adhyatma and science. You must be noticing that I am using the word Adhyatma, not spirituality, because not many original Sanskrit, that is Bharatiya terms, are correctly translatable in English. English is an inadequate language for that. English is rich, of course, when it comes to matters of science and technology. But the whole language of Adhyatma, therefore I am using the very word Adhyatma and hoping that even English adopts the same word Adhyatma. Adhyatma and science are one and the same. There was a time when people used to say that Adhyatma begins where science ends. That kind of argument came from the awareness that science talks of what and how, but science may not necessarily talk of why. Science says we'll explain these phenomena. These are the phenomena and the cause-effect relationship which defines science. But why do we exist? Why does all this take place? Why do we live? The very core questions of koham. So people used to say, no, science doesn't talk about that. That is where Adhyatma philosophy takes over. But I'm sure as even our development, our evolution goes on, we will see that it's not like science ends at a place and then Adhyatma begins. Probably a metaphor would be two sides of the same coin. That they are so one, they are together, they are two sides of the same coin. And then as we also develop better and we develop our understanding of oneness, in fact we will see that they are not even two different sides of the same coin. All you can say is they are methods in search for truth. And then someone can probably come up and say that science searches for truth in what is called as the outer world, while Adhyatma looks for the truth in the inner world. And now we have reached that stage where that so-called outer world and so-called inner world are telling us one and the same conclusion. So much so that there is no outer world and there is no inner world, there is one, the feeling, the experience of oneness. Words like inner and outer are only relative words created by illusion. This year's Nobel Prize for Physics has gone to 3 scientists who proved that the world that we see is an illusion. Maya. It doesn't mean it is false. It means the world as we see, the empirical world, does not necessarily represent the truth as we understand, as we need to understand. We need to go beyond that. Science and philosophy, science and Adhyatma are already one. When even Swami Vivekananda told us about the unity of religion and science, and that journey also goes on for 125 years, where even science has now proved that the entire universe, and not only the universe in which we live, multiverses, many Ananta Koti Brahmanda, they come into being from one Chetana. You can call it energy, we can call it Brahma, and address it with any which name that we want. All that variety that we see is from that one. Eko Ham Bahusyam. And then the unfolding of the whole universe. Our job as human beings is to understand that oneness and express it through us. Science, it won't be wrong to say that science has actually proven the truths expressed in our Adhyatma philosophy. Finally, the oneness, non-duality, Advaita, oneness, the non-duality, and therefore also shown us the path. This oneness in Adhyatma and science will help us solve even environmental problems. Oneness in Adhyatma and science will also help us deal with economic issues and teach us to live a simple life at personal level, a non-polluting, non-exploitative life at personal level. And once we understand that the whole world is interlinked, interdependent, and finally it is one, more we understand that, how can we hate someone else? How can we take to violence when we know that you are me and I am you? The principle of Tattvamasi. So that oneness of Adhyatma and science will definitely come up as a solution to even contemporary human issues. With that, I thank all of you.